Breaking down all 42 things you missed from Survivor Season 47, Episode 1. We're talking all things, a new Survivor twist, YouTubers on Survivor, a crazy new puzzle, the new hidden immunity idol, and much more. Careful for any spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. Boy, oh boy, does it feel good to say that again. It's so good to be back with another season of Survivor, and we're back with Survivor 47. I'm not gonna lie, I hope you all noticed. This is a new setup I got right here. We were busy over the summer. I was moving away. We have a little bit of a smaller setup now, but I got it perfectly for these videos. Quick reminder, we're bringing back the puzzle giveaways every week during our episode recaps this season. If you want to enter next week's giveaway, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below your favorite moment from episode 1. Let's get started with number 42, Survivor is back. Yes, that's right, we are back breaking down Survivor with Survivor Season 47. Everything is right with the world again. I briefly touched on it, but welcome to my new setup. I'm sure I'll slowly start adding things to the wall behind me, so leave a comment down below what you think I should add. Number 41, first few minutes. If you've been playing close attention online, you would have already seen this, as all the players get a chance to hype up the game. This is super interesting to talk about because for the first time ever, I didn't do a cast assessment on these players. I gotta say, I absolutely loved all of them arriving on the same boat instead of different tribe boats. Some of the standout conversations include Sam from the Yellow Tribe, Aysha, who will explain why later in the video, but she's my winner pick from the Red Tribe, and Kyle from the Blue Tribe. It's super important to note that the players that the producers choose to highlight early on in the game tend to do really well in the game.
In the end, only one will remain to claim the $1 million prize.
I'm gonna play hard. I might get a little evil, who knows?
Number 40, Jeff opens up. I don't know, it might be a hot take, but I don't think TK has much winner potential in the game. I don't think someone like TK can win the game of Survivor, but he's a fan favorite for sure. But more importantly, Jeff Probst says it best, welcome to Survivor 47. If you ever go back and watch old seasons, pay close attention to how Jeff delivers the first mat chat. This mat chat right here, although still super intense, felt more uplifting and less sassy than what we got last season.
Believe you can win this game, but it's simply not true.
Number 39, mat chat. We have the Tuku tribe that will always wear blue, the Lavo tribe that will always wear red, and the Gata tribe that will always wear yellow. The major theme that Jeff talks about during this opening chat was building a community between the players. The standouts both came from the Yellow tribe with John and Andy. I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty upset about both these players, John and Andy, and I'll get into it way more later in the video. Number 38, new twist. Let's go! As you all know, the major complaint I have with the new era Survivor is following the same formula. And we got something completely different this episode. And the best part was there was even more new changes coming leading into number 37, first challenge. 2 at a time, players crawl under a net, race in the jungle, grab a puzzle piece through an obstacle, and build a puzzle. One thing that stays the same in the new era is tough Survivor, with the winning tribe getting a pot, machete, and flint. Number 36, the challenge. I'm a sucker for the drone shots and intense moments like this. It's weird to say, but it's stuff like this, stuff like running through the jungle, which is what Survivor is all about. It was pretty noticeable that the Yellow tribe was struggling, similar to another Yellow tribe a few seasons ago. However, as we all know, the puzzle is the great equalizer in these challenges, and with me being the Survivor puzzle dude, that just puts a smile on my face, as it was super impressive from the Yellow tribe going from last place all the way to first place with the puzzle.
It's over! Gotta win! Tribe supplies! That's it! A lot of effort from Gotta to stay in this.
That was hard.
Number 35, puzzles and games. With Survivor 47 starting up, that also means Idle Plays has opened back up with the Survivor 47 drop. If you're new to the channel, Idle Plays is where I offer different Survivor replica puzzles and games. We give away puzzles at the end of all our episode recaps, but if you want to check out idleplays.com, we have 13 different puzzles and games to choose from. Old favorites have returned like the Fitz Tower and the Labyrinth Maze, but we also have new games as well, like Bruce's Puzzle. So to celebrate Survivor being back with Survivor 47, the first 10 people to use the code episode 1 get 20% off their entire order. So if you're interested in checking out Idle Plays and supporting me and the channel, please consider going to idleplays.com and checking out the puzzles. And remember, the first 10 people to use the code episode 1 get 20% off their entire order. Number 34, another new twist. If you were paying attention online, you knew this was coming, but it's so great to see a replacement for the Sweat versus Savvy challenge, as both losing tribes need to blindly pick a player to go on an adventure. Super interesting, both tribes pick their player a different way, with Aysha volunteering on the red tribe and TK winning rock, paper, scissors on the blue tribe. Number 33, meet the yellow tribe. This yellow tribe is feeling great after crushing the puzzle. The yellow tribe has John, the 41-year-old podcaster, Sierra, the 24-year-old nurse, Rachel, the 34-year-old graphic designer, Annika, the 26-year-old finance manager, Sam, the 24-year-old NFL reporter, and Andy, the 31-year-old assistant. Number 32, relationships on yellow. Much like Aysha, I was rooting for John early on for simply running a podcast. I'll always keep hope alive that one day I'll make it on Survivor, and what we do here is pretty similar to a podcast. Ultimately, Andy tries to connect with John right away, but then it means the other 4 people left over can easily form a majority together. Number 31, meet the blue tribe. This blue Tuku tribe is obviously in a worse spot, with this tribe consisting of Tiana, the 27-year-old coach, Gabe, the 26-year-old radio host, Kyle, the 31-year-old construction worker, Sue, the 59-year-old flight school owner, TK, the 31-year-old athlete marketing manager, and Caroline, the 27-year-old strategy consultant. Number 30, relationships on blue. Ultimately, Tiana thinks they are the strongest tribe physically, and I completely agree. It might be a hot take, but although she's the oldest on the tribe, I thought it was genius that Gabe goes to build a connection with Sue. Look, Sue is old, and old people rarely win Survivor. On top of that, we have Sue and Caroline connecting, so we might have the beginning of a majority alliance right here. Number 29, meet the red tribe. Similar to the blue tribe, this red Lavo tribe is in a really rough spot, and this tribe consists of Aysha, the 32-year-old IT consultant, Rome, the 30-year-old esports commentator, Teeny, the 24-year-old freelance writer, Kashan, the 28-year-old doctor, Javiv, the 33-year-old lawyer, and Sol, the 43-year-old medical salesman. Number 28, relationships on red. Look, I gotta say it right away. This tribe on paper doesn't look like the strongest tribe in Survivor 47, but at the end of the day, I think they're gonna be my favorite tribe. I think all of us see ourselves in Aysha with the Rob as a podcast connection, and I'm not gonna lie, it kinda helps that, well, shout out Rome, he follows me back on Instagram. Although I like Rome, hot take, I think he starts out the game this episode way too strong. Number 27, the journey. We are seeing the new twist for the first time as Aysha and TK introduce each other. It felt like whatever the twist was, they were gonna be working together. Obviously that's not true, leading into number 26, scavenger hunt. Ultimately, there are 2 different paths with keys, and the first person to find the keys win the supplies. Anything mental, I think Aysha would have won, but because it was all about running around and swimming, I knew TK was gonna have the upper hand. Number 25, the hunt. Watching this play out live, I was super conflicted on who to cheer on. Literally, TK and Aysha, both the people here, are 2 of my fan favorites and 2 of the people I'm cheering on in the game. Surprisingly, we had Aysha in the early lead, but then she chokes when she gets lost in the jungle. And low-key, I was jumping up and down watching this live. It really came down to the very end. It may be recency bias, but this clears and is way better than the Sweat versus Savvy challenge, and Aysha says it best.
And I know from being a Survivor podcaster that going back with no camp supplies, that's surefire way to paint myself as a target.
Number 24, coconut dessert. Lesson to all future Survivor players. I didn't know this, but apparently Annika says that a sprouting coconut is some sort of a dessert. It's a completely different conversation, but I'm not completely sold if it's a good strategy in 26-day Survivor. But as the yellow tribe builds their fire, Sam talks about wanting to keep things low-key. I think in 26-day Survivor, to win the game, you need to stand out. Number 23, returning from the journey. We are obviously in the unknown with how the tribes will react for both TK and Aysha returning. Obviously, the main reason we don't know is because this is a new twist. We've never seen this before. So round of applause, Survivor producers, for bringing in a new twist. At the end of the day, the blue tribe is jumping up and down and all pumped up as TK brings his tribe and the bromance the supplies. The red tribe has Aysha tell the truth about failing. And this right here was the part in the episode where I freaked out the most, the conversation between Teeny and Aysha. Before we talk about it, we need to talk about the new Beware advantage, leading into number 22, Beware advantage on blue. Ultimately, it's Gabe who finds it and plays it off super smooth without anyone noticing. Low key, at first, I thought the Beware part of this Beware advantage was super dumb. It talks about you can't vote until you grab the hidden immunity idol, but then I realized there's way more work that goes into this, leading into number 21, rock face. It might just be the David versus Goliath lover in me, but when I saw this scene, there was only one thing I was thinking about. We all know Gabe 100% needed Angelina's ladder right here, as he gets discovered by TK and tries to play it off, but TK doesn't buy it for a second.
I think it's at the treetops. You know, really use the manpower to find my idol.
Find the clue.
Number 20, Aysha and Teeny. I could probably make an entire video breaking down the interaction right here. Basically, Teeny goes up to Aysha about knowing about Rob has a podcast. And I found two major takeaways about this moment right here. Number one, it was genius by Teeny to not tell the tribe. And number two, it was eye-opening to me that no one else on the tribe knew about Aysha. We all need to remember that we live in a small bubble here of Survivor YouTube, and the fact that only one person recognized someone from one of the biggest podcasts means that I'll be good to go when I finally get the call to play Survivor. Number 19, Survivor YouTuber. Just like how Aysha makes Survivor content online and made it onto Survivor, I need to say that's literally my dream as well. If you aren't subscribed yet, please do that and help me one day make it onto Survivor. Number 18, advantage on red. It looks like Rome is a little delusional, thinking he's made great connections, but this tribe is pissed with him idol hunting. Really, it doesn't matter for now as he finds the Beware advantage. Ultimately, it's similar to the Beware advantage we just saw, and if I was a betting man, I'm guessing all three tribes will play out the same way. Number 17, eating worms. Number 16, Beware advantage. I would argue we spend way too much time on Beware advantages this episode. I get it, with a 2-hour premiere, it's kind of a good time to do it now, as Gabe grabs the box and opens it up, leading into number 15, box in a box. Is it overcomplicated? Yes, 100%. As the first idol is only good for one tribal, and you need to perform a new task to extend it to 3 tribals. The problem is Gabe isn't smooth with it. The box ends up falling down, making a whole bunch of noise, and the whole tribe hears it. Crazy enough, the box in the box doesn't end here, and we're gonna be talking about it again later in the video. Number 14, John in shambles. We all know what ends up happening to John later in the episode, later in the video, at Tribal Council, and it may seem like a simple, fun scene here, but the Vine talk here perfectly highlights why John was voted out. It's simple. John's the oldest one out there. He had trouble relating with the other tribe members. Being old on Survivor isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's the name of the game. You need to be able to connect with your tribe mates in order to survive. Number 13, Andy and Rachel. Unfortunately, it comes off that Andy is a little lost out there when chatting with Rachel. I have a pretty sad feeling that we might be in store for another Banu. Similar to Banu from last season, someone who wants to play Survivor but doesn't know how.
I need some help, Kenzie.
He loves the game. He loves to watch it, but it's different to play it. I think he just came out here with a good attitude.
Number 12, Andy in shambles. However, it goes from bad to worse for Andy in the night as he needs someone to comfort him. Throwback to Survivor 46, this reminded me of an exact same scene we got last season. Remember, we had Kenzie willing to comfort Ben last season, but in a similar situation here, we have Rachel refusing to help out Andy.
I've been helping people regulate sleep and anxiety before I even knew what that was really.
Thanks, buddy.
Number 11, beware advantage at night. Spending more time on the advantage, we have Gabe going on a scavenger hunt. It's not that I'm against the advantage. I like the advantage, but in hindsight, we all know what group ends up going to tribal council. And it feels like we waste too much time this episode on the 2 tribes idol hunting, not going to tribal council. Number 10, box in a box in a box. Same story as last time, but this time it turns into a full power hidden immunity idol if the person does one more task. And I would assume it works the same on all 3 tribes. Ultimately, Gabe decides not to risk it and grabs the 3 tribal idol. And I think at the end of the day, that probably makes the most sense, as 3 tribal councils will probably get you to the merge. Number 9, Rome's advantage. You would think the producers have us spend so much time on these advantages for a reason, but there will be no payoff this episode as Rome is struggling with the advantage and Aysha catches him idol hunting. Meaning a group of 4 players are all pretty upset with Rome right here. The 4 players consisting of Aysha, Sol, Teeny, and Kashawn go looking for him as Rome gets caught.
Saw Rome at the water wheel, and he goes the other way. No hi, no hey, what are y'all doing? Like, that is just suspicious behavior.
Number 8, challenge time. I thought this was a strong episode 1 compared to the new era, but I felt like we needed to get to this challenge a little bit faster as the players start in the water, paddle a boat, collecting chests, and drag it through the beach and solve a Survivor puzzle. The new era of Survivor ain't like it used to be, as the players are also playing for reward in the form of a big toolkit for first place and a smaller toolkit for second place. Number 7, the challenge. Really, the name of the game for this challenge was who could control the boat the best, and the answer was the red tribe, as blue tribe and yellow tribe were awful at this. And I don't think it's a hot take, I don't think I'm alone in saying this, but it was brutal cutting to commercial mid-challenge. Ultimately, the red tribe was so far ahead, we instantly cut to them winning the puzzle. And with us getting an intense showdown between the other 2 tribes, I was pissed off with Andy as the blue tribe wins.
Andy, are you just chilling? Are you okay? Do you want medical? I gave it everything, Jeff. Okay, gotcha. Medical!
Number 6, Andy in rough shape. In these episode recaps, when I'm overly critical on someone, I need to state that I'm not talking about them as a person. I'm talking about the TV show player, the TV show character I'm watching. So similar to Brandon from the Survivor 44 premiere, and I guess kind of Brandon from the Survivor 45 premiere, it's hard for me to sympathize with Andy because he should have came more prepared. I could hear it right in Jeff's voice. He was very annoyed by this. Number 5, Andy matcha. I felt like this was cringy, over the top, and ultimately bad strategy. Because guess what? This puts the yellow tribe's dirty laundry out there for everyone else in the game to see.
I'm on the bottom. I see it in their eyes when they don't. I crack open a coconut and they didn't cheer for me. They cheered for John.
Number 4, yellow before tribal. We will talk about it when we get to tribal council. But come on, it should have been Andy that was voted out. He starts by apologizing, but the fact that Andy explodes on day 3 scares me for what's to come in, say, day 10. Number 3, the plans. Are you ready? I'm gonna pull out my trusty notepad and break down all the plans going into tribal council. It gets complicated as number 1, the girls tell Andy it's John. And number 2, Andy tells John it's Annika. You gotta feel for John. He's trying to hang on for dear life in the game. But like I said earlier, I think it comes down to John not connecting with the group. They talk about in the episode the reason being he sucked at the challenge. I just don't buy it. Number 2, Tribal Council. Overall, this is a solid episode 1 for Survivor Season 47. I just wish we spent more time learning about the players and less time about advantages. This Tribal Council right here convinced me that this yellow tribe were probably in store for another disaster yellow tribe, especially with deciding to keep Andy in the game leading into number 1, John voted out. Seriously, I'm not joking. It feels so good to be back in the studio, back in the booth, making videos again. I'll announce our first puzzle giveaway winner next week, and click right here to check out our awesome puzzles.